Hello everybody, you are very welcome to lesson 3 in module 2 of your professional diploma in digital marketing. My name is Caitlin. I am the digital marketing educator, also the social media marketing educator, and the general head of the marketing faculty here at Shaw Academy, and I'm delighted to welcome you to lesson 3. And today we're going to be talking about search engine optimization. But before we get ahead of ourselves, guys, I just want to make absolutely certain that everybody can hear nice and loud and clearly. So if you could do me a huge favor, type into the chat box that you can hear us nice and loudly so that the team on our side can help you out if you are having any issues. If it is coming through a little bit boxy, you can refresh your browser. That's one way of fixing it. Otherwise, make sure that you are on Google Chrome. Guys, just to re-inform you that today's lesson, as well as the rest of the lessons on this course, are recorded. Okay, so I will not be responding to any messages that you type in. However, we do have a very qualified team on the line, as well as your peer chat, as well as Morpheus to help you, okay, who's our very well-educated bot. So with all of that aside, if you do want to get in touch with me, I will be sharing my contact details at the end of the lesson, so stick around for that. As for today, let's have a quick look at what you're going to be covering, okay? So we're going to look at exactly what SEO is, and we're going to recap a little bit on that. In terms of black hat SEO and white hat SEO, guys, type into your chat box now. Does anyone know what that is? What the difference between them is? If you don't, it's okay. We're here to teach you exactly that. We're also going to look at keywords in relation to your SEO in a little bit more depth. In relation to SEO and how they can be used. We're also going to have a bit of an introduction to link strategy, okay? Just the very beginnings, because we've got time for that. It's a very important part of SEO, okay? And then what will happen is we'll look at a bit of content and its part to play in SEO, as well as how to integrate your keywords into your content. And then in the next lesson, you'll see later on this week, we're going to look at social media and whether it has any impact on SEO at all. All right, so that is what we've got going today. So let's get ahead and have a look. Let's get started. As per usual, we will start with a little definition of what SEO is, okay? So search engine optimization is the process of increasing the number of visitors to a website by ranking highly in search engines, okay? So SEO isn't just about building search engine friendly websites, okay? It is a big part of it, but it's about making your website better for people to use as well, you know, as well as to be searchable by search engines. So if your search engines can't find your website, or, you know, they can't add your content, the pages to their databases, you miss out on massive opportunities to drive traffic to your site. You really do, okay? The wrong moves and the wrong layouts and setups can actually hide or bury your site deep down in the search results where visibility is minimal. Okay, we don't want that. We want to compete organically, and we want to do it at our best possible placing. Okay, the world of SEO is really complex. It can, the back end anyway, but most people can really easily understand the basics. I mean, even a small amount of knowledge can make a huge difference. All right. So we're gonna really see in the next lesson how to implement it, and we're gonna see how to put it into practice. Okay, but so let's simplify it. Let's take a little step back a second and make sure that we all understand what I'm on about with SEO. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a little comparative. So imagine the internet as a huge, big, massive library. Okay, so one of the librarians is Google, and what we're doing with our websites is we're taking our books and we're going to the librarian and we're giving the librarian our books, okay, which is information, right? And the job of the librarian, so Google or Yahoo or Bing, okay, is then to organize that information in such a way that people who want to access information can do so easily. Okay, it is pretty much that simple. Okay, so we can follow the steps that the librarian has given to us so that all of our information is easily organized and categorized. Does that make sense to you guys? Is everybody with me? Okay, so Google's going to tell us what they want us to do. We just need to find those instructions, okay? And we can do that so that our information is really easy to find. But now, okay, if we go into the librarian and we go into the library and say, you know, you have a bit of a fit and you throw your books all over the place and hit Google in the head with one maybe, try not to do that. Say you've got all of your information scattered kind of all over the floor, it would be a lot more difficult for us to find that information that we're looking for, wouldn't it? It's kind of like, I suppose my bedroom floor would be a bit of a similar situation. I know I've got certain outfits, but they are there somewhere, but I cannot find them. It's the same kind of thing, okay? Would be a lot more difficult, right? So I'm going to take you now into the very first part. So there are two different sides to SEO, okay? Two different ways of approaching it. We've got Black Hat SEO, and we're going to talk about that first, okay? So this talks about basically not following the guidelines that are set down by the search engines like Google and Yahoo and all of that, okay? In a lot of instances, it's when a person tries to get one up on the search engines and tries to fool the search engine and take a shortcut, you know, in the hope of getting short-term gain. Okay, so often people who implement Black Hat SEO as well, they do it in a really aggressive and really dishonest manner. Does anyone know what Black Hat SEO is? Have you come into contact with it before? I bet some of you have and you don't actually realize it. So basically, guys, it's when the person or the company builds their website strategy based only on getting search engine results, and they don't have any they don't give any thought or they don't give any focus to the human beings using the website. Okay, it results in a really clunky, not very user-friendly website experience and repetitive keyword usage and just generally a really bad user experience. Okay, Betty, that's great. Betty says keyword stuffing. Okay, we'll talk about keyword stuffing now in a little bit. Kirsty says it looks like mafia SEO. I tried to find the the darkest black hat elements I could find, picture I could find. Is everybody familiar with Black Hat SEO? Is anyone? Brilliant, yes. Akash asked, is that when people can hide words like putting it in white text or something in the back of the page? Absolutely. It is a really, really quick way to get yourself banned from Google. Okay, so I'm sure that you would be a little bit familiar with it from the foundation course, but a few examples that I've got, right, of Black Hat SEO techniques. It's your keyword stuffing. We've got irrelevant backlinking. Okay, it's if you use invisible text. So what you're talking about, using white text in the background, Akash. Your doorway pages, adding unrelated keywords, you know, to the page content, or page swapping, which is changing the web page entirely after it's been ranked by search engines. Okay, it's that kind of thing. Okay, so there are just a couple for you. Auto refresh as well, that's kind of with your videos, or the page refreshes itself. I would assume it's a code that's put into the back end of the page of a certain web page that reloads, and it would give advertisers false numbers of how many impressions that they would have had on the advert, okay, or of the ad that's being displayed on that page, or how many site visits they've got, and make the website seem a lot more valuable and a lot more highly visited than it is. Okay, does that make sense, guys? So it's all that sort of thing. So most people who are using these tactics are focused on short-term financial gain, okay, and they're not at all focused on long-term strategy. And I'm a huge fan of long-term strategy. I don't think that there's any point, and it doesn't contribute anything to society to go for short-term financial gain, okay? As digital marketers, guys, as you all are now, okay, we want to look at long-term strategies. You need to avoid this like the plague, okay? When you're caught using Black Hat SEO by Google, okay, and you will eventually be caught, they do punish you, okay? And sometimes they do take you off the search results completely. They ban your site. It's not a question of ethics, or just a question of ethics rather, okay? But it's also, you know, We simply do need to, and we want to provide long-term strategy. It is that simple. A good question to ask yourself, actually, when you're working on a website or with a business is, does the work I'm doing here add value to the user experience, or is it just for the search engines to see? You've got to compile the two. You've got to combine the two, okay? If your answer to that is, no, I'm not really adding value to the user, then have a look at and reconsider what tactics you're using and what you're doing. Okay, there should be a direct correlation between the SEO work that you're doing and improving the user experience. Okay, so does everyone understand here that what I'm talking about? You know, the difference between user experience and SEO. So in earlier days, back when your search engine algorithms were a lot more basic. Okay, when the internet came into being, the algorithms that they had were pretty basic compared to what they are now. I think they were still very, very complicated back then, but they were easier to circumvent. Okay, that is when black hat SEO techniques were very widely used. Okay, they were all over the place, and they were pretty successful because there was no way to track them and there was no way to punish them. Okay, it just hadn't been developed yet. So a lot of people were able to fool search engines back then. Okay, however, as the internet evolved and search engines advanced and improved their algorithm, they started getting pretty annoyed by people who engaged in black hat tactics. Okay, so they got a little grumpy, to say the least, right? So they've got this high-tech algorithm now that can really easily spot these types of black hat tactics. And they really don't take kindly to those who engage in black hat SEO. So, I mean, really think about it logically. Black hat SEO gives a really bad experience for the user who has been directed there by the search engine, okay? Which means bad news for Google or for any search engine as a business, okay? So, guys, I've got a little video here from Google who go into far better detail about it. So I'm just going to, it really does, it captures the point quite nicely here. So I'm just going to bring this up for us. And the link is in that image when you download your slides, okay? They are on the site for you to access, and it is a page on Google. It's not just the videos, so you can go and have a read and get stuck into it a little bit more. So, but let's have a bit of a listen here.
Hello, I'm Michael, and I work on Google's search quality team. In this video, I'm going to discuss some key points of our Webmaster Guidelines, including syndicated content, then affiliates, and doorway sites. Syndicated content is content that is copied from another website. Some sites copy content that stays on topic, but they don't add any of their own value. Other sites copy completely random and irrelevant content to increase their search traffic. Scraped content alone, even high-quality content, does not provide any added value to your users. Similarly, if your site participates in affiliate programs, make sure your site adds value and gives the user a reason to visit your site. An example of a high-quality affiliate site would be a bicycle blog with original reviews and commentary. An example of a low-quality affiliate site would be a bicycle blog that provides only copied product descriptions accompanied by affiliate links. The final category is doorway sites. Doorway sites are created purely to drive users to another website and often try to crowd the search results for a particular term or phrase. This provides the user with a poor experience, as more than one search result will ultimately lead them to the same site. A violation of our Webmaster Guidelines can negatively impact your performance in our search results, and in some cases, can even result in removal from our search results. Our primary goal is to serve users with high-quality, relevant information. These guidelines are in place to ensure a good user experience, so it's worth your time to give them a thorough reading. To learn more, please visit our Help Center resources. Thanks for watching.
Okay, does that kind of not clarify it, but does it give you a little more information there, guys? Does that make sense to you? So there are a lot of different ways that you can use black hat SEO, but I'm not just here to teach you guys what not to do. Byron says, do you think he likes bikes? He might. He might. Okay, does it make it? Jenna says it makes a lot more sense. Now I understand. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm not just here to teach you about the bad stuff, but here is the flip side of that. Okay, we're going to talk about white hat SEO. So does anyone want to hazard a guess of what white hat SEO is? Let's have a look. Proper SEO methods, Betty says. Yes, good job. Quality, Monique says. Basically be original with what you do. Andre, that's a good... it's a good way of looking at it, but there are some really good solid tactics that'll you don't have to reinvent the wheel, okay? You don't have to go, like, definitely do be original with what you can be original with, but they've got, Google particularly has a lot of kind of, I suppose, directions that are laid out for us to allow us to make that experience so much better for our users, okay? So loads of you guys coming in, good content, relevant keywords, Andre, excellent. Oh, sorry, Lizelle, that was Lizelle. Andre said generate your own content, excellent. Laura says the opposite of black hat SEO, very good. Genuine content, follow guidelines by Google, Sachin and Helen, excellent stuff, okay? Good backlinks, Laura says, quality content, wonderful guys. So you're halfway there. Dorothy says user-friendly websites. Excellent stuff. Okay, you guys are 100%. Okay, so when we refer to white hat SEO, sorry, we're talking about a strategy that follows best practices in the industry. Okay, that means strategy and tactics that focus on the user experience and not just, or they combine the user experience into it, and they don't just focus on the search engines alone. So we're referring to, you know, the practice of following pre-stipulated search engine guidelines. And guys, I am self-professed, you know, an absolute stickler for the best practice strategy. It just works, okay, and it works better, and it makes your life easier. It's like telling the truth at school or in everyday life. You know, you've got nothing to hide or nothing to anticipate going wrong. You know, white hat SEO it's what we're going to be looking at mostly today. So I just wanted to give you guys that lead up. So it talks about a website being fully optimized for search engines to crawl. However, at the same time, the same website needs to be relevant and focused on the user. You know, not just creating great content that's unique and adds value to the user, but it's got to be a user journey that is smooth and easy to navigate. Okay, white hat SEO, it involves using keyword planning and keyword strategy, okay, and link building and link popularity and link strategy and your web page and website authority as well. Okay, and I'll talk about that in a little bit now. But guys, it's all about making a long-term investment into your efforts, and that's what I want to instill in you guys. It's what serious digital marketers are all about, and it's how you get ahead in this game. Okay, so you guys, oopsie, ready to take a look at white hat SEO? Have a look at what it's all about. Okay, so excellent, guys. I'm going to start this off. Loads of yeses coming in. We're going to start it off with a question. What do you think the function of keywords is when it comes to SEO? What do you guys think? Streamlines the search terms for the search engines indexing. Wonderful stuff. Did you Google that? Drive relevant traffic. Excellent. Okay, so loads of you guys, you've all got a good grasp on it. Content helps people find you. Excellent. Okay, well, let's have a look at a bit of a, again, we're going to look at a definition. Okay, so SEO keywords specifically, okay, they're the keywords and phrases in your web content that makes it possible for people to find your site through search engines, okay? A website that's well optimized for search engines speaks the same language as its potential visitor base, with keywords for SEO that help connect searchers to your site. Okay, so your users searching for you, and you want to be able to match up to those terms that they're typing into the search bar, okay? Guys, it all begins with the words typed into that search bar, okay? Keyword research is one of the most important, most valuable, and high return involved in activities in the search marketing field, okay? Ranking for the right keywords, it can make or break your site, okay? And by researching your market's keyword demand, okay, you can not only learn which terms and phrases to use to target with your SEO, but you can also learn more about your customers as a whole. It'll give you insights into how they think, okay? It's not always just about getting visitors to your site, but it's about getting the right kind of visitors to your site, okay? And in the history of marketing, we're so lucky nowadays. There's never been such a low barrier to entry, in being able to understand the motivations of our consumers in pretty much any niche, right? So what I will say, you need to ask yourself if the keyword is relevant to your website's content first and foremost. Okay, next, will searchers find what they're looking for on your site when they search using those keywords? Will they then be happy with what they find? Okay, will that traffic that you get from them searching you and finding you, will it result in financial rewards or other, goals that you've set? And if the answer to all of those questions is a yes, then you can carry on with the keywords that you're using, okay? Okay, cool, guys. So, let us hop on. Is everybody with me so far? That's amazing. Byron says we've got a dedicated person at our company who specializes in keyword research. Goodness, that's interesting. I don't know if it's something I could do all day, but definitely as a part of my job. Okay, everybody's saying yes, all there, all with me. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to take a step back and take a look at SEO keywords. Okay, specifically, we're going to look at the titles, URLs, and descriptions, where they're used. Okay, so here we go. First one, let me just get my pointer. Your title tag is the boldest, okay? This is the most obvious element in your search results. And for that reason, it is a major part in the decision-making process of whether your searcher is going to click on your result or not, okay? It's really important to use 50 to 60 characters, okay, of important keywords. Use your most important keywords first. Okay, further forward in the title than kind of towards the end. Okay, so then, guys, your title tags, they actually, Moz wrote a piece and they said, that title tags are, for a long time they've been considered one of the most important on-page SEO elements. And it's so true, guys. If the closer to the start of that title tag that any keyword is used, or even more importantly, the most important keyword is used, the more likely it is to be ranked for that keyword-based query, okay, for what people search for. Okay, so secondly, our URL, okay, needs to be relevant to what we do. Okay, hang on. Actually, before I move on to the URL, okay, one thing you have to remember is that your title tag needs to be written for humans. Okay, I'm going to keep pushing this point home. They should be formatted to some degree for search engines, okay, because that is half of the game. But it's absolutely vital that the tag that you use makes perfect sense to humans. It doesn't sound a little bit off, okay? And when you read it, it needs to sound like a legible sentence. Okay, so they should be 50 to 60 characters long, and your most important keywords need to go to the front. For the URL, it needs to be relevant, okay, to what you do. Okay, same with your URL, same with the description. You've got to make sure that you've got the right content in each of those elements. And I'll show you them. I'm going to highlight them and show you an example very shortly. Alison asked, are you referring to titles or headlines in each of your web pages? They should align, okay, but I'm talking about your search engine results, okay, this on the search engine results page. Okay, so let's have a look. It's simple when you can see it, but when I'm trying to use all the terminology, it can get a little bit caught up. So just to highlight this for you, so your title, okay, is that. Title is highlighted in yellow there. Okay, that's the title of your search results. Then your URL is there. So look at what they've done. They're using what is the search phrase here? Okay, digital by a digital camera. Buy digital camera. Okay, so digital camera is there. Buying advice. Okay, so that is the URL. It's got all of those keywords in it. Right? Then your description, okay, is that guy. So have a look. You can see buy is there. Camera. Okay, cameras. New. Okay, it was obviously a search for new digital cameras. Okay, does that make sense to you? Okay, so guys, your click-through rate is going to have a big effect and a big impact on whether we're going to be shown again for that search term. Okay, so you want to use the right words to make sure that your click-through rate is high. Okay, you guys all there? This is just a visual kind of explanation of it for you. So just remember to use those keywords where they need to be used, okay? So I just want to take a little moment here and talk about our keywords and look at long tail versus regular keywords. Does anyone know what I mean when I talk about long tail keywords? Okay, your long tail keywords, guys, are the ones they describe. It's exactly what it says on the tin. They're longer, okay? So here we've got our keywords and our long tail keywords. So here are just a couple of examples. Okay, your long tail keywords are almost like your phrase match keywords, okay, that you would use in your ads. Okay, excellent. Okay, you guys are all with me. Some people don't know what the difference is. That's totally fine. So here's just an example, okay? So your keywords, your average keywords would be like your general broad term keywords, okay? So it's your general competitive keywords. Your long tail keywords, when people talk about long tail keywords, they're more specific and more relevant. They drill down, okay, into exactly what our specific product is and what we're specifically trying to sell. Okay, so how do we decide what keywords to use then? Okay, well, here we go. We first start with our USP. Okay, do you guys know what a USP is, right? It's your unique selling proposition or unique selling point, okay? If you want to sell something online, it doesn't matter, you know, if it's a product or if it's a service. The very, very first thing it needs to be is it needs to be awesome, right? It needs to be brilliant. Monique says, I thought you would have used cake. I'm trying to give you guys a rest and myself a rest because I am very tempted to eat cake after every single lesson I do, and that's not good. Okay, cool, guys. So your unique selling points, exactly. Okay, so your product does need to be really, really good first. It needs to be something special. That's fair to say, right? So if you know and you understand what makes your product and your service unique, then it's much easier to convey that to your customer and to your audience, right? So it's the most important point to focus on, you know? So what you got to think is, how can you convey that unique selling point to your customer? You know, so ours for Show Academy, as an example, ours are live education, okay? Affordable education online, you know? Everyone says that our customer service is the best, all of that stuff. If you have a business or if you're going to represent a business, personally, I wouldn't go for customer service is the best. Everybody says that. You know, if you've got a business or you're going to represent them, guys, you need to take time to really think of what that USP is and spend time focusing on that. What is their niche? What is your niche? For us, it's Show Academy, live, affordable education, right? So guys, write down your unique selling point, your USP, write down your goals and the clear words to describe that. Those are all key words, okay? Then you need to think about the competitive market out there, okay? So some industries and some markets are really, really competitive when it comes to when you're looking from an SEO point of view, okay? So as an example, travel is a really, really competitive industry. There's huge competition there, and it'll be quite difficult for those who are new to the industry to get hold of the right keywords to begin. You know, if you're working with people, say you've got clients and they've got a little budget, and let's be honest, guys, this is probably the kind of work that you're going to start working on, okay? If you're going to go freelance, if you're starting your own company, that's the kind of work you're going to be working on. You're going to be doing that for the majority of the time. Your SMEs with small budgets, right? They're looking for creativity, for growth, and for revenue generation. So to compete with the world travel kind of keyword usage on the net is going to be a little bit difficult. So that is why your USP is going to help you so much more. Okay, you really need to have a clear idea of what your USP is, and then you can look at your niche as well. And I mean, guys, building up your niche marketing is going to help you to build up your ranking, and it's going to give you a stronger standing point. You know, say, instead of saying, you know, travel or book your tickets or ticket booking, travel, you know, using those as keywords, rather use like travel to Asia or, no, even that's a bit broad, like cruises for the elderly in Asia. Find out what your niche is. I'm not saying that that's your niche, but if you get me, right? Okay, so then with long tail keywords, it is a lot less competitive. I want to keep this, up. I want to bring this to your attention, okay? So It's far easier to rank with long tail keywords than it is for your general keywords, okay, your common ones. They'll generate much less search volume, so keep that in mind, and they'll generate a lot less traffic than your generic keywords, but you're going to have way higher quality leads because they're more specifically suited to those, to what they're searching for, right? So like using the travel example again, say if you're competing with keywords like travel abroad, not only is it going to be harder to rank for, but it's quite broad, so you're not necessarily going to attract the users that you're aiming to convert, right? So what about if you used vacation for the elderly in Tokyo? Okay, it'll rank and your conversion is going to be much more likely because the right people are sent to the right place with the right words, okay? It needs to be specific and detailed. They're way more likely to buy. And guys, when you're creating your long tail keywords, look at the mission of your business. When you're clear on what makes you unique and what your mission is, I'm going to use Show Academy again because it's like my easiest example outside of cake. Okay, our mission is to make sure that education is accessible and affordable to everybody. Using something like that, then it is much easier to create your long tail keywords. Okay, the language specific to your mission should feature in your online strategy and hopefully in your keywords if you can get it there. Everybody good? Pumla is asking, what is a niche? A niche it's like a little, it's a small group of a target market. Okay, it's NICHE. Your niche it's like a little corner. Okay, so it's your little specific group of buyers. Okay, does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, everybody's with me. Let us shoot along. Okay, because then it is all about building great content from there. Okay, so let's just take a think about that. Right? Excellent. Betty, thank you. She says niche market equals specialty markets. Okay, they're smaller. Let's have a think about it when we're talking about content. Okay, it all begins, okay, with words typed into a box. Okay, so guys, your keyword research is one of the most important high return activities, as I was saying, okay, in the marketing field. So your keywords for SEO are going to make a huge big difference for you. They're going to teach you a lot about your audience, okay? Secondly, I'm just reiterating this, okay? It's not always about getting visitors to your site, but it's about getting the right people, the right kinds of visitors, okay? It needs to be the basis for all of your SEO. You need to use these keywords in your SEO and in your content, okay? And guys, it'll allow you, your customers to find you a lot more easily. It really, really will. People are looking for us, so it's up to us to optimize what we're doing so that they can find us. It's that simple. Okay, remember to keep asking yourself if it is relevant to you. Okay, so guys, when we consider keyword research, a lot of people make the mistake of it being a once-off event, okay? Being like a one-time thing. Okay, so I'm just bringing up some pitfalls here for you. So it's an ongoing, evolving process that needs to be reviewed and refined all the time, regularly, okay? Old keywords might need to be changed or thrown away over time. It's great to know this because you know that you're not going to be stuck with a broken puzzle, okay? You can always change and you can always upgrade your efforts. You might decide that competitive keywords, right, your general keywords might need to change to more accurate keywords, right? So a lot of people, let me just bring these up for you. We're going to have a talk through this. Using kind of broader keywords are not going to get you the results that you're looking for. So as I was saying, when you use the more niche keywords, it results in less search volume, but they're more specific, okay? They'll deliver you more convertible traffic. Let's have a look at, again, okay? In the context of selling, we'll say lighting, okay? Actually, not education. It's selling lighting online, okay? If you use the keyword lights, it's got a high search volume, you can imagine, right? But it's going to be really, really competitive. And even if you do compete, you're going to end up with a lot of traffic from people who have all sorts of queries about lighting, okay, or lights. Like, I mean, even, the northern lights, say, instead of in-house, light bulbs and that sort of thing. Okay, so now let's imagine that you sell low energy light or low energy light bulbs, okay, and now, or low energy lights for the home. So you can use those keywords, okay, the keywords low energy lighting. That's what's known as a long tail keyword, okay, because the keywords describe what you do. The traffic coming to you is going to be way more likely to convert because they were searching for exactly what you offer. Okay, so guys, you're never ever going to stand out from the crowd, okay, if you use the same general keywords that everybody uses. So when we've got our keywords, the next step, okay, is going to be to create high quality content using those keywords. So the idea is to build your list and to test and to refine it and divide them into different groups and your subgroups and all of that, okay, because we did cover that in the foundation lessons. I'm not going to go over it too much, but you do then want to produce content, okay, that helps and adds value to your potential customers. So in this, I'm talking about your website itself, not just blogs. Okay, so this list that I've got here for you, that makes sense, right? So we've got our groups. These are our groups. Okay, power tools, ladders, hand tools, screws, safety equipment, drill bits. Say you've got, it's another strange example, I know, but you've got a hardware store, and these are your groups, okay, and these are the keywords. Now, in a list, it doesn't look particularly appealing, but let me show you, right? When we put it up against the website, here's the website. So what you're doing here is you're using, we're just going to look at the one group, okay, power tools, okay, which is your drill, circular saw, cordless drill, table saw. So here's a page of handyhardware.ie. It is our homepage, okay, for an ad that we're running. Have a look there, Handy Hardware. It's got power tools here. You can see there. You might not be able to see it from where you are, but on the slides you'll be able to see it, okay? Power tools is a keyword there. Power tool over there. Power tools. Cordless drill driver, okay? And then there's table saw there. Those are words that all come under here. Your keywords that are part of those groups. Does that make sense to everybody? So this is kind of how it lays out across the page, just to kind of further reiterate this. I'm not going to go into link strategy. I'll introduce it to you, and then I will go into it in more depth in the next lesson, because I know that students do have a bit of an issue with it, and they do find it difficult to keep on top of. Is that all right, guys? Everybody with me on that? Just so we can finish on time. So basically, backlinking and your link strategy. I'm just going to talk you through this to begin with. Okay, so what we're talking about when we talk about linking, okay, imagine a big city with lots of different roads linking to each other. Okay, think of a big city with lots of little roads, and they all link to other roads, and they all connect, and they connect suburbs and all of that. Okay, think of it as a pathway for the search engines to find your content. Okay, you need to build those roads so that search engines can find all of the articles, which are the little houses or buildings that you've got all over the place. Okay, so building a link strategy is one of the most important aspects of SEO. Guys, those really sophisticated algorithms that calculate what the most relevant search results are, those algorithms rely really heavily on link strategies and links to give them the important answer of how relevant that information is, okay, and the keywords and all of that. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? Okay, so with the search engine, they need to find out, okay, and with that algorithm, basically they factor in your authority level, factor in how many spam websites you're attached to, and this is all done with your links, okay, with how trustworthy your site is. They find out how trustworthy you are through those links, okay. So there is an algorithm that was purchased by Google, okay, or it was acquired, I suppose. I'm not sure how much it was purchased for, but it's an authority model called the Hilltop algorithm, okay? And this algorithm, you guys need to know this, okay? This algorithm suggests that links are a really good way of identifying documents on a given subject, okay? So this algorithm is one that's used to find relevant documents that connect to a particular keyword, okay? And it was created by a guy named Krishna Bharat, who worked for Compaq. in the Compact Research Center at the University of Toronto. He was in the University of Toronto as well. And Google acquired it in 2003 in February. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Just that you're aware, we're going to talk more about the Hilltop algorithm and authority to begin with link strategy in the next lesson, and then we'll go through the rest of that content and how it relates to social media and all sorts of all of that good stuff. All right, and I'll give you some resources as well. Great stuff, everybody. Okay, so fabulous lesson today. You guys are all awesome. So what we looked at is what exactly SEO is. We looked at black hat SEO in a little bit more detail and some white hat SEO as well. So that's kind of basically your best practices. All right. We looked at keywords and keyword strategy and what you should be doing with your keywords and how you can use them effectively. All right. And we also had an introduction to our link strategy. Okay, this is a topic that we're going to be covering a little bit more in each lesson moving forward because it is something that people do get a bit confused about. So don't worry too much about it if you didn't get it. Guys, do send in your questions. That is what we're here for. Okay, we are here to help you. So contact us absolutely any time. In the next lesson, looking forward to that, okay, is our practical of this particular lesson. So everything that we've covered in this lesson, we're going to have a bit of a practical approach to. So we're going to look at link strategy in a bit more detail. We're going to look at the relationship between social media and SEO. Remember, I told you that at the beginning of the lesson. We're then going to look at some Google tools, okay? So Search Console, how you use that and how it can benefit you. Don't worry too much about it. We'll go into it in the next lesson. We're going to learn how to submit a sitemap, and we're going to learn how to get ourselves onto Google My Business. I'm not asking you to Google My Business. It is an actual tool for us made by Google that helps us get found and helps us look a little bit swish doing it. We're also going to have a look then at performing an SEO audit. There's a very cool tool online that you can use that's pretty handy, and how we can link to Google Analytics, everything that we do through SEO. So all of these tools are going to help you in a big way getting yourself on the map. All right, and your website. So now I know that the lesson has run a little bit short, so what I'm going to do is I am sharing just a couple of quite good questions that students asked about this particular lesson right before we finish up. So if you do have any questions, guys, type them into your chat box. This could be very, very useful for you. If not, you are more than welcome to head off now. But here we go. Talal says, so when we talk about keywords in SEO, it's about the keywords we write in our website, correct? Yes, absolutely. It's in the content of your website. That is what contributes to your SEO ranking, okay? And how far up the search results you show up organically, okay? SEO is organic, guys. Oyalami says, is it ideal to put numerical values in keywords? I don't think that it depends on what you're looking to portray, because I mean do people search for numbers with regards to your product? I wouldn't use actual numbers. I'd type them out as words, because words just work a lot better. But do type yeah, let me know more, give me more information on what you're talking about. Siabulile is saying the notes, we've got content marketing, social media marketing, and digital marketing. We need to go through all of it for the final exam. Guys, yeah, the final exam consists of questions based on content, social, and digital. What I would suggest is have a look through your summary notes, okay, to refresh yourselves on the lessons. Watch all of the lessons first and foremost, then go over your summary notes, and then do the assignments that we've got for each week of each semester. So you'll be doing 12 assignments to practice, okay? And when you do those, then you'll find out what you're not so strong in, and then I'd say go back and revise that particular week or that part of the course, okay? Just to get yourselves up on it. I'm not going to tell you which particular parts are in the final assignment, because then, I know it sounds bad, guys, it's a 3-month course, okay? And there's a lot of information in it, yes, but it makes no sense for you to do this course just to pass the final assignment. Okay, so I want you to all go and review and relearn and learn and absorb the information and then get tested on it for what you need. Andrew says, thanks, Caitlin. I've got a dash before my father eats all the food I prepared for tea that took me 3 hours to cook. Run and eat, and I hope hope there's some left for you. Enjoy it. Have a good evening. Assignment for last week of social media is still not up. Okay, June, I will have a look into that as well. I did check on it. It exists. So I'll talk to our techie guys tomorrow morning and make sure that that's in place for you. Okay. Ryan says, can you explain how to use multiple keywords on a page? How do you select your primary keyword? So selecting your primary keyword for me, personally, would come through looking at the search volume of each keyword, okay, that's available to you, and or that you decide to use, and the one with the highest search volume, I would use as a primary keyword, as that, or that phrase, the long tail, I would use as a primary keyword, and other than that, you'll find out through testing really which should be your primary keyword. But I would have 3 to 4 big primary keywords that you use the way through the content. Okay. Marvin says, hi Caitlin, I missed last week's second video, can't find it in the recorded videos. I will have another look at that. It should be up for you, but sorry about that. I will definitely make sure that it's uploaded for you. Phil said, can you please define algorithm? Okay, so the algorithm, particularly for SEO, it's a set of rules that Google puts together in this huge big code. Okay, there are algorithms for Facebook advertising, there are algorithms for your social, like your Facebook posts, there are algorithms for SEO, there are algorithms for, you know, all sorts of things. They're just rules and regulations that are put into a code that in their big computers that basically determines, it's like a sorting machine, if that makes sense. If your content meets certain, or your website, stuff will be flagged, okay, for being acceptable or not acceptable within this algorithm. And with the algorithm, it'll test whether your website is like how long the user journey is. I don't know much about what Google's algorithm is. I don't think there's one human being on the world that knows the entire algorithm. It was built by a lot of people, and it's quite secret. It's like Coke's secret ingredients or secret recipes. So not everybody knows everything. But hopefully I'm not confusing you too much. But basically, algorithms, it's just a set of instructions that your content or your website is checked against to make sure that it meets all of the standards and criteria that they've predetermined to be good quality. I hope that makes sense. I'll try and break it down a bit for you in the next lesson though. Karishma is asking, please can you explain linkage and linking again? Okay, I will do that. I'll refresh in the next lesson. I'll give you a quick descriptor on what linking is, but linking, and it's a lot easier when I show you, okay, just exactly how it works and what's considered a link. But when you click on a URL, on a link and all of that, that is included in someone's link strategy anyway. Don't worry too much, I'll go into it more for you. Anna is asking, is the final exam multiple choice? Yes, it is. Oyelami says, like weaving particular rates or numbers onto the HTML meta description. Just do me a favor, Oyelami, will you email me with exactly the examples that you're talking about? But I wouldn't see that as best practice. I would stick to words. Fatima is asking, where do we get search volume for the keywords? So do you remember in the last lesson I showed you which keywords to use in advertising? You can still use that same keyword planner to see what people are searching for. Okay, what are people searching for on search engines? and it'll bring up what the organic results are as well. So go to Google's Keyword Planner, okay? It'll help you with that. Byron says Coke's secret ingredient is happiness and diabetes. Sorry, no, I love Coke. Laura says, at the end of the Foundation Digital Marketing course, I was told that the Advanced and Ultimate course are pretty much the same. So we only have to do Foundation and then Ultimate course. But then last lesson, you said that we have to do Foundation, Advanced, and then the Ultimate course. So, Laura, you are on the Advanced and the Ultimate course. The Advanced course for the digital marketing faculty is the UDMP. So you're on it right now. It's the same thing. They're not two different things. Okay, so you're on the right course. Don't worry about it. Alison says, so the search engine results provide a title, URL, and description. How are these collated by Google? It comes from your website, but how do the search engines know how to organize this information? Alison, I am glad you asked. I'm going to show you how to do that exactly with Google's super cool tools next lesson. Okay, and you can actually tag these pieces of content on your website so that Google reads them a specific way. And it sounds really complicated, but it's not. It's actually a lot of fun. Okay. Anna says, can you have more than one go at the assignments? You can, most definitely. If you guys find that you are uncomfortable and unhappy with the results that you get for your final assignment, I will send me an email and we can make a plan. Okay? Richard, you are very, very welcome. Enjoy your coffee. Go wake up nicely. Sean says, is there significantly more traffic being in the top 3 Google versus front page? I mean, absolutely, because that is where people click first. I'll see if I can find some statistics for you, but people, you know, the vast majority of people who visit search engine results pages or search for content, they will only click within the first 5 top results, because we're conditioned now to think that they're the best results, they're the only relevant results. Marvin says, I'm in the motor group with a few dealerships under it. How can this help me? Well, Marvin, if you send me an email with which part of it you're asking can help you and what you need to do, this is something that will help everyone. Everybody should be SEO aligned and search engine optimized. All of your websites should be. Excellent, guys. So if you do need to get in touch with us, please drop an email to myself or your course tutor. So my email is there on the screen, caitlin.hogg@shoreacademy.com. If I don't get back to you, one of the team most certainly will. And massive, massive thank you again for another fabulous lesson. Get in touch with us. Until then, until next week, take care, and we will see you soon.